Last night was a little interesting because, I went to share uh, what a particular member of a certain group was texting me on my phone. And this is where the dynamic of I guess, daddy son age gap relationship gets a little interesting because I fully admit I don't have the experience. I'm not experienced as being a gay man. I've never been bashed, at least for my sexuality. I have been bashed for being a BMXer. I've had trash thrown on me. I've had sticks and bricks thrown at me. I've been hit by 2x4s, skateboards thrown at me. You name it, I've had that shit done to me. But I've never been bashed for my sexuality. And I know my partner has. And that's where it gets a little interesting because he's experienced things that I've yet to experience. So I'll look at things from a different angle than he will. And there's, miscommunication or misunderstandings because either I'll think he's being a little too harsh or he'll think I'm being a little too relaxed. And granted, I am kind of relaxed. So last night was one of those cases where pretty much I start reading the messages and what I'm replying back to this particular person, and my partner just gets really quiet, and I know I kind of triggered something. Oops. So he goes on this little tirade about how this fellow is very hateful and he's a brother and yet he hates us, and just basically being protective and defensive against these comments. And I kind of just sit back there and, kind of go silent. You can use the term PTSD if you want, but I just kind of froze. And it's something that I always used to do as a small child, and it's gotten worse as I've gotten into an adult. But I just freeze, and it just made the whole evening kind of awkward between Sean and myself. And it was something that totally did not have to be awkward. It was just something triggered, and I went boom right into my little show again. And we had a pretty good long talk, and it ended up being, in my mind, it ended up being kind of important and vital to the growth of our relationship. But at the same time, it opened the door to stuff that we are going to need to address in our relationship. Like the fact that he is more experienced than I am. That's no fault of his or mine. It's just that's to be expected. He is older than I am, and it's expected that he will have more life experiences than myself. He's gonna have to get used to the fact that I'm just so laid back. I'm gonna need to learn the warning signs of shit like this and learn how to deal with it. I'm going to have to learn how to cut off the comments or the side remarks before they even happen. There's just a lot that has to be done. But it's going to be all helpful. You know, it's obvious the two of us have a thorough love for each other. And I'm just not going to let this slip away. You know, if the only support I have on my side is my bud John, his girlfriend, and my ex, boyfriend, not girlfriend, my ex-girl, different story, then so be it. If I have to adopt Sean's whole family as my own family because I no longer have a family, so be it. I am totally lost in my mind right now. Okay. Yeah. I'll wrap this up.